A senior, 5'11" guard, Peyton Hartley. A sophomore, 6'2" forward, Chance Little. And a senior, 6'4", Jackson Ford.
Good evening and welcome to Winchester. It is the annual black and white scrimmage, West Central versus West Central. With me today is Cole Meyer.
Howdy.
And Winchester basketball historian Kent Coltis. How's it going, KC?
Good, Denny. How you doing?
Doing all right, doing all right. So we'll play 4 quarters. It'll be the varsity black versus the varsity white, and then we will see the JV play a quarter and then back to varsity action and then finish up with our JV again tonight. So we'll talk a lot of basketball, not so much of what's going on the floor. You'll get to see what's going on the floor. A little bit more of what the season looks like, what's coming back for West Central, and what's coming up as far as their schedule is concerned and tournaments that they'll be playing in, and a little bit about everything. So let's get going. Good rejection. Tyson Mast, one of our guards, brings it up the floor, finds Jaden Howard on the cut. So we have Ryan Seasting at the helm. Ryan Seasting's in what, his 5th year, KC?
I believe so. You know, had, 24 wins his first year, 25, 32, and 12 in a shortened season last year.
Absolutely. I talked to him a little bit today, and I talked to him quite a bit in the office. His overall record, I have him at 93-20.
Not too shabby.
Did I got it? Did I nail it?
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
93-20, so he has an 80% winning percentage. So if he gets anything less than that, I don't know. He may be on the chopping block. What do you think? That's pretty impressive. 93 wins and 20 losses in his going into his 5th year. He has 3 regional titles, and I'm talking the West Central Cougars at that time span. 3 WIVC crowns in a row.
Yeah, I believe a 29-game conference winning streak right now.
Absolutely. And 3 in a row, Kent. And you're going to have to give me that stat again because we talked about it way back in the spring when they won at Route. We haven't seen that before, or have we seen that before?
Yeah, the last time was, the last time 3 outrights was Carrollton back in 1982 to 84. And then North Green had 4 in a row, but 3 of those were shared. And that, I believe that was like 91, 92, 93, and 94. So it's been a while.
Good stuff. Nice stuff. So we're going to go for our 4th in a row. Here's Zach Evans with the steal. Might see our first points. He's going to be a handful here as a junior. One of our leading scorers coming back.
And really the only conference losses C-Sting had his first year was a double overtime loss against Triopia and a buzzer beater down at Whitehall against North Green.
Good shot from Tyson Mack.
So along with those WIVC crowns, we have a 2-time Waverly champion in that time span, won the Winchester tournament twice, and then tournament wins in New Berlin, and then we did switch out of that tournament and won in Beardstown as well. So very impressive.
Good hit.
Long shot by Zach Evans, and we saw him do that quite a bit last year. He's a good shooter.
Yes, we did.
And I called Zach Evans a junior. He's a sophomore. So for the varsity black right now, we're a little behind. Sophomore Zach Evans, 6'1" guard. We have sophomore Mason Berry, a 6-foot guard. A senior Peyton Hartley at 5'11" guard. A 6'2" forward Chance Little, sophomore. A 6-foot forward Jackson Ford, he's a senior, and then a sub on the varsity black team, first-year player, but a senior, 5'10" center Jack Fry. Looks like we have a timeout on the floor with 7:45 to go. If you're keeping score at home, it's 7-3, the varsity black team. Kent, who do we have on the varsity white team?
Varsity white team got Tyson Mast, a 5'10" guard. Believe he came down here from Jacksonville last year and played really well at the point guard position. Tyson Brown, a 5'10" guard, a junior. He's been the quarterback of the football team the last 2 years. And of course, we made the playoffs this year, and I believe he made second team all-conference at a quarterback. Latham Barnett, a 6-foot forward and a senior. I think he's been out all 4 years, and they give him a hard time about his shooting, but he did make a big three-pointer against Camp Point last year that, at the end of the third quarter, he banked in a 3. His only 3-shot attempt all year. And, of course, we ended up winning the game by 2 points, so that was a big shot by Latham.
100%.
Yeah, we got a 6'2" forward, senior Parker Hoots, first year. Did he play in junior high, Cole? Or?
Yes, he did.
He did.
He played for his 7th grade year, I think, and then stopped his 8th.
So first time out for several years for Parker, and he is also on that playoff football team this fall. I believe he made all-conference as a defensive back. And we have junior 6'3" forward Jaden Howard, who I'm sure everybody remembers his older brother Cole was an all-state player on the basketball team a couple years ago. I believe he has a younger brother who's a freshman.
Yeah, Zach Howard, and we'll talk a little bit about him as the JV takes. There's Tyson Mass with a nice shot, brings the white team within 1. So you mentioned 12-1 last year. We are losing some of our players from last year, and we'll go through kind of those players. So a spark plug for us, Braden Little, averaged 8.5 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 4.5 assists a game. So he did a little bit of everything, depending on the night, I guess.
Yeah, that's something. You and I have always been around the West Central basketball program. We've never really had that big 20-point scores. So, any night, we can have somebody step up and score 20 or 25 points, but we've never had that big score that teams can really key on.
Absolutely, and I thought that's what made last year's team deadly. They were 12-1, and you just had a feeling, and you can say, I know a lot of people can say that, but at 12-1 last year, you felt almost like they got robbed just a little bit. We were all glad to play, but you just didn't know what that team could have done in the postseason. I mean, you were right, and that team more so than any team that I've seen in a while at West Central, and I know we share the ball a lot, but you got guys averaging, 13 points a game, 10 points a game, 8 points, 8 points. You just never knew. Any given night, somebody was stepping up with a big night, and it didn't matter.
Absolutely, and we lose Ethan Schlegel and Noah Smith, 2 6'5" kids, and in Class A you don't see that at many schools.
Absolutely. Noah Smith averaged 13 points a game for us last year and grabbed about 5 rebounds. Ethan Schlegel with 10 points a game grabbed 6 rebounds. So, yeah, you're missing those. But, again, I think just like we've talked about West Central, we're going to talk about what they have coming back, and they've got a lot coming back. We also want to mention a senior that we had last year, Justin Galloway. Didn't play a whole lot, but when he did, he provided some action, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He liked to shoot the ball, and it's good to see him. I think he scored against Western last year. It was good to see him do that.
Yeah.
I think he scored against Pleasant Hill last year, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, played at Pleasant Hill, played at Brown County, I think. So he got quite a bit of action there.
And then a senior that you won't see this year, unfortunately, is Ryan Moore. Ryan Moore was a 6'3" senior. He's going to be out for the season. In fact, I think he has surgery Monday on that ACL that he tore week 9 of football. So, he's a guy that, his stats were 8 points a game, and he averaged about 5 rebounds a game. But if you didn't watch West Central basketball, you didn't understand how important that gentleman was.
Yeah, I believe he started halfway through his freshman year, and I was looking at his stats. In 3 years, he only missed 2 games. So, overall, he did bring a lot to the program.
Absolutely, and he did just about everything. You could guarantee he's going to be playing their best player, one of the most athletic West Central players we've seen, and that's not taken away from anybody that's ever played, but he was one of the best that I've ever seen play in the uniform. So, again, we're going to miss him this year. You'll see him on the sidelines. He'll be helping out. I know Cole. He's been in a lot of the practices, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, he's still helping the program out. It's unfortunate his season ended before it started, but hope he has a speedy recovery. And don't know really what his plans are yet, if he's thinking after school playing something at the college level, but he definitely has the ability to do so.
Timeout, Coach Sievers.
Coach Sievers on the Varsity Black calls the timeout with 3:22 to go. It's 12 to 12. We'll take a break and be right back. Back here in Winchester out of the timeout, it's all tied up, 12-12. 3 officials for tonight's scrimmage helping us out, and we appreciate it a lot. Shiloh Savage, Justin Fuller. And who was the third one, Cole? I had you go down and get
Devin Vaughn.
Devin Vaughn. I believe KC, former
route player. He was pretty good in basketball and a nice baseball player for the. And if any Winchester alumni are listening, a lot of them might know his mom. His mom was Debbie Grubb, who graduated from Winchester, about 76, 77, in there sometime.
That's why we bring KC, Cole, right there. That's the extra stuff I can't bring to the table, right there.
I'm with you right there.
West Central is slid back, sagging in their defense. So we have returning players, KC, a little bit. Coaches, I was talking to Coach Seasting a little bit about
That's 4.
some of the players that are coming back. And we have Tyson Mast.
Yes, he's starting point guard, good shooter, ability to score off the dribble, and does a lot of great job leading our team in transition, creating for some of the other players. A very active defender that gets a lot of deflections, and part of that good shooter. I remember up at Route for the conference championship. He hit a couple, and he was open at the volleyball line, and he
didn't have a conscience that game.
No, he wasn't afraid to take that shot either, and he buried it.
Absolutely, and he's just kind of the spiritual leader of the team too. I mean, emotional leader, I should say too. He's just
brings a lot of energy.
Absolutely, Cole's right. If you see him out there, he's always bouncing around, hyping his teammates up, and just kind of a special, unique kid for the program.
I think he's already hit 4 threes tonight, or is that 3?
Well, I haven't been watching the whole game. I've been trying to get through my notes, and very well. He's a very good shooter, like Coach Seasting was talking about. And again, he kind of sets the tone for everything that's going on. And he's going to have to be even a bigger role, as we just talked about Ryan Moore and not being with us this year on the court. We also have Lathan Barnett. Now, Lathan's not going to – I know he had a big 3 and Kent talked about it. It's not going to be on anybody's scouting report. But what is going to be on everybody's scouting report is how hard he plays, how well he rebounds. And he's just one of the – you're going to find out he's going to guard number 1, on the floor, especially now that we don't have Ryan with us. But even if we did, you're going to see him guarding number 1 on the floor. So – good luck to whoever that is, because he's a strong kid. He's a fast kid, very athletic kid. Brings a lot to the table.
His hustle is unmatched.
Absolutely, and Cole would know. He has to go up against him all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Tyson Brown. Tyson Brown's another one that returns, KC.
Yeah, he'll play the wing position a lot for us this year and has the ability to attack off the dribble, And another one of those kids who's a pretty decent shooter.
It'll be interesting. You always wonder how some of these players are going to come into their own. I mean, they'll still be an upper-level role player, but, Tyson didn't see a whole lot of minutes, but when he did a nice job of filling the role he was asked. So Tyson Brown will be probably one of the starters out here for the West Central Cougars. We have Jaden Howard. I thought one of the most improved players as the season went on. I know he played JV basketball, a lot of it, but one of the most improved about how he handled a lot of his bigger guys that he had to play. And there he is right there, fouled on the shot.
And should mention, that JV team went 13-0 last year, so.
Absolutely.
Like you said, Jaden was a big part of that. Cole, you were too, so.
Got a lot of rebounds for his size, too. How tall he is.
Zach Evans picks the pass off and just kind of heaves it from three-quarter and about nailed it. So that ends quarter number 1, and we'll see kind of a shift here. I'm sure Coach Seasting is going to do some situational stuff the next time the varsity gets out here on the floor. But we're going to transition now, and we'll transition into some JV action. So I'll let KC kind of tell you who's going to start on the floor for the JV, and then we'll get back to some of these players that are going to help us in the on the varsity team.
Yeah, for the JV, first for the black team, you got Mason Berry, who also saw some varsity time there. Got a freshman, Ronald Bentley, freshman Zach Howard, who you just watched his older brother Jaden play in that for the varsity. Freshman Dalton Hutton. I think you know a little bit about him, don't you, Denny?
Yep, I know Dalton.
And sophomore Derek Price, who could be a big help down the stretch. He's got some size and got a nice touch around the rim.
Very physical.
And for the JV white team, got freshman guard Cameron Sievers, whose dad Travis is an assistant coach. Got freshman Caden Meyer, freshman Landon Woods, freshman Carson Brown, and junior Jaden Howard. Maybe he'll get to guard his brother there.
Well, we'll see, I guess. We'll see. As the JV tips off, it's Hutton and Howard. Howard controls the tip to Sievers. So it looks like we do have Jack Fry in there. He's a first-year player but a senior. So he's going to see some action and, again, see what he can do. Getting back to our players that will help us out on the varsity team, we have Zach Evans. You know, Zach Evans really had some bright spots in his freshman year, and now a sophomore, he's going to be asked to fill some shoes. Probably, I'm going to guess, one of the starters. I won't say starter. I shouldn't have said starter, but we'll play both the wing and the point guard positions. A great shooter. We know that from last year. Has the ability to shoot off the dribble. Obviously has the ability to throw it three-quarter court and hit the front of the rim, so he has an idea how to score.
Yeah, I remember him over at Payson. I think we were up 1 point at halftime, and he came out that third quarter, and he hit 4 threes in a row. And one of those, they laid off of him, and he is another one at the volleyball line. He cocked it up, and I'm like, this is good before he even shot it. That's how hot he was that night. Yeah. Sure enough, he buried it.
Absolutely. So, again, he's great at creating for himself and others off the dribble. So, excited to see him and Tyson Mast really work together. And then you got Tyson Brown in there again. So, a lot of players that are going to bring something new to the table. Mason Berry, again, if you watched a little bit there in that first quarter, a lot of energy, going to play good defense, and he's going to just play his role. I think what Ryan Seesting does, Coach Seesting does so well is, I mean, these kids go into one-on-one meetings with him, if I'm right, Cole, and they know their role. He tells them pretty much, you know, what he expects and what's going to get you on the court and how you can help this team. So I think that's very important.
Yep. Nice transition, just unfortunate travel.
Finishing up here, we did talk about Parker Hoots, a first-year player. He's athletic. We know that through his football, being an all-conference football player. But we don't know much about him as a basketball player yet. So I think it's just about getting on the floor and getting some time and seeing what happens. Maybe a guy that can help out in a role position and give you some spot time.
You sure can.
Yeah, you know, looking at the roster, he's 6'2", and that's something we're lacking this year is a little bit of height. So any height that we can find is going to be a big plus.
He's 6'2", and he has 5 fouls. So, right?
Yep, he does.
Everybody gets 5 fouls, so we'll take it. Let's see here. Peyton Hartley. What do we know about Peyton?
Peyton Hartley. He'll play. He's another one who plays. He'll be a wing position player, good shooter, does a good job, and good rebounder. So, and his older brother Ethan played a few years ago.
Absolutely. I see Peyton sometimes, and I think he's one of those streaky shooters, and he gets hot. Man, he can be unconscious. So. Good shooter and a good wing player, and again, we'll be asked to fill a role position for the varsity club. Chance Little, in talking to Coach Seesting, he's really high on Chance and his energy that he brings to the table. He thinks he's one of the team's best rebounders, plays with a lot of energy, isn't afraid to step up and take a charge. So I think you're going to see a lot of what we are going to lose in Brayton Little and his brother, Chance, a kid that will give you a few points, but he will attack the basket with a vengeance. And then Jackson Ford, don't know much about. I'm sorry, Jackson Ford. Don't know. Coach Seesting talked a lot about him as far as being a great rebounder. Again, watched him on JV. He was part of that JV team last year. Played little varsity spot time minutes. Great rebounder, does a great job of being vocal and just being a leader. And I saw that a lot in football too. When you needed that guy to step up and be the leader, he was there. And finally, we got our buddy up here, Cole Meyer. Cole, you want to give us your scouting report on yourself? Actually, let's get an update on Cole. Why are you up here in the first place? What's going on?
I hurt my knee in open gym. My doctor thinks I popped it in and out of place, and well, if I keep playing, I'll tear my ACL, and I don't really.
Don't want to do that. I've done that. I've actually done it twice.
Especially with Ryan being out with an ACL
Absolutely.
and how bad that is. But hopefully I'm looking to be back by January if everything goes well.
Absolutely. I'll give you my scouting report on Cole from last year from what I remember, and KC, you can add to it. Smart basketball player, almost like another coach on the floor, and I think Ryan, talking to Ryan again, we talked a lot today. You know, going to miss that, but going to at least have it on the bench too, so it's going to be nice to have Cole there. There's not a play he doesn't know, and he can direct about, not only does he know the play, as Coach Seasting was talking about, he knows what everybody's supposed to do in the play. So it's almost like having another coach there on the bench. So for a while, he's going to be a coach, and that's pretty cool in itself. But we hope you get healthy, and we hope to see you on the floor, Cole.
Hope to be a help too. Let's see how PT goes and what everybody thinks of the MRI.
Barry with the basketball up top to Zach Evans. So we'll try to get a little play-by-play in here. Barry on the wing looking at Derek Price. He's a nice left-handed player.
Very physical player.
Very physical. Got caught up in some feet there, but he's a sophomore. He didn't play last year. Played in junior high. Watching him in junior high, he was just growing so fast, I felt like, and body wasn't catching up. But
he's got nice hands and a nice touch around the basket.
Absolutely.
Very, very overlooked thing about him. He can shoot the ball very well too.
Absolutely. That's the one thing he did have in junior high too. The nice hands, the nice touch, good shooter for a big guy. And now I'm watching him in the first hour fitness class that he has, and he moves so much better now. Just has a better feel for his body. I think, honestly, I think he was one of those kids that just grew so fast. He kind of went through that awkward stage. But now he looks really good, moving. Like I said, he's dedicated to being in that weight room, that first hour fitness class, kind of like you are, Cole. I think you're in that class as well, correct?
Yep.
So that says a lot about the kid wanting to be out here and make himself better.
He has a very big passion for the game of basketball too.
Absolutely. Cameron Sievers, the freshman, has the basketball, so it's the JV White going against the JV Black team right now. Little confusion, and this is why you play these games. Try to get some of the sloppiness out in front of a crowd. But as we said last year in scrimmages, they know the plays too, right, KC?
Yeah, they do. They know what you're supposed to be doing.
It's one of the harder games that you'll play. One, is your first one, and two, they know everywhere you're going.
There is quite the number of freshmen, too. We have a good group of freshmen.
Yeah, we're going to have to get through all these names here. It's good to see the program has kept its numbers up. There's two freshmen battle right there, and that's Carson Brown picking up the foul on Dalton Hutton. Those two were teammates again last year for the 8th grade team. A lot of high-low action out of those two. Ronald Bentley to the hole. He passes off to Zach Evans. Nothing happened. Out top to Dalton Hutton. These are all freshmen. Hutton with the shot. It's good.
Ooh, good look. His brother was waiting for it.
That was Zach Howard, not Zach Evans. Too many names, too many Zachs, too many.
Two Tysons, two
Two
Zachs.
Tysons. We have more Tysons in my high school, our high school, than it just like everywhere I turn around, it's a Tyson. And it's not even spelled the same way. Everybody's different. 20 seconds to go in the second period. I don't know if the score even matters. It's the white team down by 1, 19-20. Receivers with the basketball to
Good pass.
Brown. Brown is fouled on the shot by Zach Howard.
See if Brown can put in these 2 free throws before the time runs out.
Good crowd tonight for a scrimmage. Should have had Amanda pop some popcorn or something.
I'm sure she'll probably have enough of that during the season. She'll
Yeah.
She's running the cameras tonight.
See if we can get a black team can get a quick shot off.
Barry dribbled to his left. Comes back to his right and picked off by Landon Woods, another freshman. With that buzzer, it takes us to halftime. I don't know if they're going to take a halftime or not, but we're going to take a small break. The varsity will be back in action with probably some another 12 minutes and maybe some situational play. We'll give you the call when we get back. Back at it here in Winchester. It'll be varsity white against varsity black. I don't know if they're keeping the score 20-19 for a reason, but again, I think we'll see different things, see how they adjust to like a zone like right now.
I think this segment may be a zone segment.
So as Cole pointed out, Tyson Mass was on fire. So we'll see how the black team handles that shooter out there.
Loose ball. Good hustle by Parker Hoods.
That's West Central's MO, has been from day one, way back in year one, outwork your opponent.
Another rebounder, Lathan Barnett.
And that's what you need to see out of Lathan all year, those rebounds, those hustle plays, and you're definitely going to get it.
I think this segment is a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press and a 1-2-2 defense.
Insider, Cole has it, he knows. So I'm glad he's up here. If you can't play, you might as well come up here for a while.
Might as well.
Help us out.
Good passing. Lathan gets a rebound again.
On the floor for the black team, Jackson Ford, Chance Little. Hartley, Zach Evans, and Mason Berry. And you just saw Tyson Mass hit another, and I think Cole's got him for 5 out of 6 or something ridiculous.
Either
right now.
5 for 6 or 5 for 7, I think.
So save some of those for the year. But again, we've seen him do that a couple times in the season, and one that stands out, like we just talked about, was that route game, right, KC?
Yes, it was. Zach and Tyson Mass both have really good games of our guard positions. Zach had a big steal there late in the game for layup, and Tyson Mass also had a layup there late in the game.
Good luck.
Absolutely. And if you got a guy that can shoot him out of the zone, either you're coming out or you're extending out, and you just saw him extend out on Tyson, he's going to take another one. Misses that one. We jinxed him. Battle for the rebound comes back to White.
Yeah, I think Zach might have been – I think we might have been out on a break, and he spotted up from 3. I'm like, no, we can get a better shot than that. And then he buries it, and I'm like, good shot, Zach.
Like on the bench, we're like, whoa, okay.
It's one of those, what are you doing? That's a great shot.
Yeah. I think Lathan's a little out of position here. He's not used to playing the old guard position.
Mass with another shot, but you can see him hitting early has really extended the Varsity Black team. They've really had to step out, and that's what you need them to do. Little 1-2-2. He caught it in a bad spot, but Hoots lets him up the sideline. See how the black team adjusts. And what Jackson Ford, you see him in there. He does a nice job of finding the soft spot and sealing the shift. You see him, if you're not watching this weak side, you're not seeing Jackson Ford do what is very important for the varsity basketball team. When you talk about playing roles, you know, he's the one out there setting that weak side fade screens and catching the zone on a shift, getting these guys open. That would be Tyson Mass and Zach Evans and whoever else is on the floor. So we talk a lot about, you know, scoring gets a lot of attention, but if you watch basketball, you're going to see some of these role players and how important they are to our success.
See him set up in the 1-2-2 press.
It's the first time we've seen the black team really get this set up, and it comes down the sideline. Nothing really going. Nice job by the white team, but
just barely overthrew him. Good pass.
Zach Evans misses the layup. Tyson Mass quickly down the floor, finds Tyson Brown. He takes it baseline, but almost runs into Mass, who was finishing that pass. Timeout on the floor. We'll just keep it here with 7:35 to go here in the third quarter. So we'll have about 7.5 more minutes of varsity play. Then we'll kick it back over to the JV, and that'll end our night. But before we do, we still have several things to talk about. Our live streaming schedule, we'll have a game here on Tuesday. The varsity girls will play, and it will not be a JV game. We don't have enough to play a JV game, so it will just be varsity girls basketball at 6 o'clock, and I believe it's Porta. Is that correct, or do I have?
Yes, that is Porta.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think the Porta Blue Jays will be here, their varsity team. So check in. I think it's the only live stream Winchester has next week. So that's part of our schedule, varsity only on Tuesday.
And you'll get to see your high school coach, Mark Cox. He's got daughters I believe his oldest daughter's a senior, and
wow.
Maybe his twins or freshmen, I believe.
I tell you, Mark Cox, he wasn't a very good basketball player here, was he?
No, he was a role player.
I'm so glad Gabe Cox passed him in the all-time leading scorer. So,
and if you talk to Mark, he'll tell you he holds the Winchester scoring mark. Gabe has the West Central scoring.
Well, he's always safe there. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like the way he plays that. That makes you feel old. Mark was my high school basketball coach way back in '97. So, one, I am old, but two, when you think that's his oldest daughter that's going to be a senior.
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies.
I think we're going to shift back over to a man defense here.
The adjustment out of the timeout. Good call by Cole.
Fake the back door.
He wanted to go back door, then he stopped. Now, we were always taught, if you're going to go back door, go back door.
Yeah.
Don't fake, don't stop in your back door, because that's what happens. And then Jaden went to throw it to him, and it was thrown out of bounds.
Black team is very good about breaking their press.
There's Hartley with the long shot on the mark, but just short. On the line, I should say, but just short.
Oh, and there's another same thing just happened. Another fake back door. And
what a nice pass by Tyson Mass, a little left-handed to Tyson Brown for the layup.
Put a little spin on that ball, did he?
He's a little lefty. Those lefties are tricky.
Good kick. Good rebound, good push. Another great pass. I think Zach Evans may have got a piece of that one.
Good hustle play by Zach Evans. Nice pass by Tyson Mast, and you can see Tyson Brown is pretty winded right now. And again, another reason to get these boys on the floor. Get them in front of people, get the first game whatevers out, and there'll be still some more as they play their first real game. But that's kind of the purpose of these. Ahead to Peyton Hartley, and he scores.
A little bit of confusion.
Nice job by Tyson Mast. He has just a presence about him, and that's just being a senior. Changing the flow. The younger that you are, you want to try to put your head down and get through that press as quickly as possible, and it doesn't always work that way.
Good little backdoor screen right there from him too.
Parker Hoots with the nice pass to Jaden Howard, and 2 more for the white team. Long shot by Evans, and it's good.
Good shot. They need to get something going, and he stepped up and tried to get something going.
As always, don't forget to hit, if you haven't already, the like button, also the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber to our channel. The more likes and subscriptions that we get, the more features we can open up on our YouTube page. It's all based on those 2 things. So again, if you can help us out or you like what we're doing, please do so. Nice hit by Cole. I'm sorry, Parker Hoots. I have too many Hoots that I've had in all those boys. Parker's such a good kid. Nice athlete.
And I feel like whenever I play against him in practice, he has a wingspan of a 6'5" kid, I feel like.
He's, from what I can remember, I want to say Logan, his brother, was pretty tall, but I don't remember any of the Hoots boys being as long as he is. And you're right, Cole. He's got a long wingspan.
Timeout from the black team?
Looks like there's going to be a timeout. It's 30-29. The white team holds a 1-point lead with 3:54 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Back here in Winchester, out of the timeout. Black first to break and on the floor. White still in their huddle. Don't forget, if you want to be part of the Booster Club, all you have to do is show up. We'll put you to work. Our next meeting is Wednesday, December 1st. Isn't that right, KC?
I believe so, here at Winchester. Is it at the library in Winchester?
Yeah, we'll do it at the high school. We were just at Bluff School District at our last meeting, so we'll be December 1st. And I believe that's at 6 o'clock, and we'll probably be in the high school library. So if you want to know what's happening, come to these meetings. We're always looking for help. I know Amanda's looking for help on concessions, Amanda and Lori. We're going to be needing some help on the live stream, so if there's anybody that just wants to, and when you say live stream, you don't necessarily have to put a headset on and talk, but you can run the audio, you can run the camera system, anything helps out, and we appreciate all that help us out. So that's going on the first Wednesday in December. And most importantly, we'll be ramping up for that 99th Winchester tournament. So seed meeting will be the 15th of December at Plum Creek Golf Course at 7 o'clock.
Did we ever decide, are we going to stream that? Or
Grant wants to do something like coaches interviews or something, but that may change. One, for a couple of things. One of them being just moving equipment. Moving equipment's tough.
Yeah.
But he still wants to talk to a couple coaches about their team and maybe their seeding. And
I believe I saw a preseason poll. Liberty was ranked number 2 in the state, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
They were.
Wow.
I think Route was 14th or 15th, and we were 16th.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what makes the tournament fun. You got teams. It's always pretty balanced.
Mm-hmm.
You have teams like West Central and Liberty and Route. You're going to have some other teams probably creep up into that state ranking. Always have some tough pacing teams, and we have a new team this year, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Carlinville's in it for the make it all varsity team. We don't need the JV team this year. And any guesses on? They've been here one other time. Any guesses on what year that would have been?
See, Cole. That's what he does to me. He knows everything about the tournament. So I'm going to say. Now, you're going to let me have a range, or I have to pick the actual year?
I'll say it was early in the tournament, in the tournament years.
Okay. I'm going to say in the range of 1953.
I'm going to go
early before that.
Oh, wow. Wow. 42.
You're getting close. You're getting warmer.
Wow. Still lower than that?
Yeah, still
27.
Lower. Now you got to go higher.
This is
1939.
I was going to say, just give it to me now, Coach. 1939, wow. And they were still the Carlinville, are they the Cavaliers?
Cavaliers.
Wow.
It was pretty upsetting last year learning that we weren't going to have one and we were going to get the 100th year.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we missed out on the true 100th would have been this year. So, and I know, KC, you've been doing some work with some neighboring states about what their oldest tournament is, and have you had anything come back as being older than ours as far as an invitational is concerned?
No, invitational, no. I sent out a letter to, every state has a organization similar to the IHSA, and I sent a letter to each one, and the closest Monroe City, Missouri has one, and I believe they had 96 was last year, so they're a couple of years behind us. But no, there's some county tournaments in Illinois and Indiana that are over 100, but those, of course, those are just county tournaments. But we're invitational, so
good back.
As far as I can find out, we're the oldest invitational tournament in the country.
I remember the story Bob Moore always said that he went to a tournament up in northern Illinois, was it?
Oh yeah, Brett's team, his son Brett coached, and was it like Morton or somewhere? I can't remember where. But they advertised it as the oldest invitational, and I think Bob actually knew like their AD or principal or something. He went up to him and said, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
And they were in their 80s, I think, and we were in our 90s. And
right?
yeah, they're juvenile compared to us.
That's the end of the third quarter, so we're now going to transition back into some JV action for about 8 minutes. But we'll keep talking about tournament. A little more about what's going on. We have failed to mention, and we did talk about Ryan being in his 5th year, but who are some of his assistants there, KC?
Yeah, Brady Slagle, who was part of that Cardiac Cougar team in 2009, and he finally got to be a part of a championship team the last 2 years. His senior year they finished 2nd. Travis Sievers, I think does he teach at Meridosha?
I think so, yeah.
Meridosha, and his son Cameron's a freshman out here, so
and Travis has helped the program for a couple years now. So,
and Bill Jacko, who's been around the program for, he's a former Booster Club president, former referee in the area, and years ago he coached at Barry, I believe. So he's been in the area. His son Ashton was part of that 2011 state championship for the girls team.
Yep, and I think he coached that group in junior high, so you're right. He's been involved in all aspects of our sports programs. especially on the basketball side. So good to have those guys back. They were with us last year as well. But the 99th tournament will kick off. What is that, January 8th? Is that
January 8th, I believe.
So
middle of winter, you can probably guess we're going to get some snow that week.
yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's pray. I don't know that. Have we had a straight tournament through in the last 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years seems like.
Jeez.
You know, of course, 2 or 3 years ago, the championship game got moved. Tournament, lasted almost 10 days. We played Triopia for the championship on a Thursday night and had to turn around and go over there on Friday night.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was a nightmare to try to schedule all that. You know, and in fact, I think, was that the year that we had to even split the tournament with Bluffs just to get our games in? Or
I think that might have been the year before. I think all the games were at Winchester that year. Might have been the year before that.
I mean, I don't know. We've run into some.
Yeah, been a couple times where 2 teams have played away from here. So,
yeah.
You know, in their own gym. So, but it was a Winchester tournament game. So that's, you know, something that's been around for, I guess, 99 years now. You know, always has some pretty good history stories to it.
Absolutely. 99 years. And Kent's got some of the oddest stories. And really, I've seen some of the oddest things happen. The lights go out and had to
come back the next day and
restart
finish the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've had some. 99 years brings a lot of history. But in 99 years, what's the oddest, what's the most unique story that you think you have in 99 years?
Well, you know,
you're not going to narrow it down to one, are you?
No, I can't do that. But, you know, before the Florence Bridge was built, you know, that teams came across the bridge by ferry, and even a couple times the river was frozen, and they drove across the frozen river. Can you imagine what people would say if a school tried to drive across a river? You know, lawsuits and everything else these days.
Absolutely.
And kind of also over the first few years, 10 years or so, you know, it was kind of a single elimination tournament. So you started on a Thursday afternoon. They closed school and played all day Friday.
Wow.
And, you know, transportation wasn't the best back then, and they'd ask for volunteers, and people would actually let teams come and stay in their house, stay in their home, you know. And then I think those families got like a little per diem, you know, for letting them stay there. And so, yeah, this, like I said, you know, a lot of cool stories.
And that's the neat thing about it, you know, when you see this tournament, and I think a lot of people speak to this. I mean, the Booster Club does a lot, but, man, you can't run this without your community. And there's a lot of people that take a lot of pride in, you know, being a host coach, you know, watching the doors, you know, you name it.
Yeah,
the community's there to help us out.
Yeah, you know, used to be the mothers took care of the kitchen, and, you know, you'd have grandparents come back. You know, they were part of it when they were in high school. And, you know, my mom still, you know, back when there was a Future Homemakers of America, you know, they made a complete meal, you know, and sold it at the tournament. So, yeah, you know, it's something that's passed down generation to generation. Just if you play in it, you come back and help, or, you know, if you work concession stands, you come back and help for years.
And it's almost sort of a homecoming. I know from Winchester's standpoint, you'll see some people that, you know, you don't see at a basketball game but once a year, but they love coming back, you know, that week in January.
Yeah, you see some people, and especially some of the college-age kids who maybe graduated a year or two, you know, they always like to come back to the tournament. So, yeah.
So that's coming up January 8th through the 15th there. Hopefully we get done on the 15th and we crown somebody on the 15th. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's West Central, but also the 15th means we're on time, Kent.
Yeah, it does, you know. You know, it seems like every time we win it, we've always won it on either that following Monday or sometime else during the week. Yep. So it'd be nice to win it and actually have it on a weekend where you can maybe go out and kind of do a little celebration or something and not have to worry about school or something the next day.
That's right. I'd be all right with that. West Central black team down by 4 points. Mason Berry with the basketball. Up to Dalton Hutton, into Price. Price with that nice little left-handed hook, rattles in and out. Battle for the rebound. Goes out of my view.
Carson and Dalton again fighting for it.
That's right, pitcher and catcher on the baseball team.
And don't forget, I'm not sure, I know the raffle tickets are at the printers, so hopefully we can get them out in the next week or so. So we got some, I think Katie Meyer was in charge of the prizes this year. So we got a big screen TV, some Cardinal tickets.
Blackstone, I think.
Yeah. I know, I believe it's an autographed Yadier Molina jersey, so.
I'm going to have to get some tickets for that one, being
I'm with
Yachty's
you.
last year.
Yeah, Yachty's last year. Of course, shout out to Chad Slagle and his financial company for donating the Cardinal tickets. Jamie Martin from Jacksonville, he donated the Molina jersey. So a lot of good help, not just from Winchester, but some of the surrounding communities help out with the tournament. I know we always sell some advertising to our video board from some of the businesses out of town. So.
Absolutely. One of the ways that we keep doing what we're doing is we have to thank everybody that advertises with us, either through just a fan package, a business package. Your advertisement is on the board Your advertisement's on the board the whole time we're playing here, if you can see it in the background of some of those shots, but also we play it on our live stream. So if you're interested and you're not part of what we're doing and interested in being a part of it, you can contact the Winchester High School office and we'll get you set up. But also those businesses that are faithful to always help us out. And we're going to start doing some business spotlights as we start to get into the varsity season, just to highlight not only your business a little bit more, talk about it, but also to once again thank you. It's a revenue stream that allows us to do this. It allows us to put backstops on the baseball field and scoreboards up in the gyms and you name it.
I think if there's one thing that I'm excited for this year, I think it's going down to Indiana over Christmas break.
Absolutely. That's a good point. So tell us about that, Cole. When are we going? What are we doing? What's Indiana? What's so special about that?
So I think we leave December 18th, I'm pretty sure, and play the 19th. We play in the Hoosiers gym from the movie Hoosiers down there, and we'll take a quick trip, and we play one of Seasting's former high school teammates, I'm pretty sure, or college teammates.
Yeah, I think it's a teammate of some sort. I can't remember if it's high school or a college teammate. I think you're right.
But we'll have a nice little team bonding there, about 4-hour drive there.
Absolutely. So if you want a ticket to that game, and I'm glad Cole brought that up, you can pick a ticket up at the high school office starting on Monday. And the ticket just gives you a reserved spot. You don't have to pay for the ticket at Winchester. All that ticket, we will hand you a ticket if you want to go to the game. You will pay at the gate still. The ticket just reserves you a spot in the gym. And the reason they do that is they just, like anything, you have two schools and money and handing that, they'd rather just deal with it themselves. So we just print the tickets. We hand them out to anyone that wants to go. And
I think there's only like 300 allowed, right? Like
300 per side. So I don't know that we'll get 300 per side, but I'm sure West Central will travel well. We play Lakeland Christian Academy, and it is on the 18th. So
it is on the 18th.
The varsity team will leave on the 17th. I know they get a chance to do a shoot-around at 1 o'clock on the gym floor on Friday. So it'll be kind of a neat experience, won't it, Cole?
Yeah, it will. I actually previously this last week I did an essay on the movie Hoosiers.
Why not? Why not? I know a couple college teammates that have been to the gym and have been to the place where the whole thing was shot, I think, which was in Massachusetts maybe, or Virginia. I can't remember. It's not at Indiana. The only thing shot in Indiana is the court time. So that's December 18th. And then don't forget Saturday, December 4th, a little shifting of gears. We have the Christmas parade in Hometown Christmas. So if you want to be a part of the Christmas parade, get your entries in. I know the deadline's coming up, and we'd sure like to have you. We usually have about, 30 to 35 floats, and we want to have that and more. It's a pretty neat experience, and we want you to be a part of that. KC, Cole, we wrapped it up. I know we didn't do a lot of play-by-play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
And don't forget Monday night at Beardstown if you want to make the trip over to Beardstown for our first game against Rushville Industry. What is it, 6:30 game time?
Yeah.
Or?
6:30 game
6:30 Monday night away. We will be live streaming again on Tuesday. Varsity girls basketball only. We will play the Porta Blue Jays. That game starts at 6 o'clock. We'll have it live here on WC Athletics.
And hopefully Coach Cox knows it's varsity only, because we all know he does not make the time right a lot of times.
Well, it's always something with him. So I can't wait for him to be here so I can just, say stuff about him all night long.
Maybe you could get him up here and maybe do a little.
That's pushing it, isn't it?
It is.
I'll see what I can do. I can see what I can do. All right, guys. For Cole Meyer and KC, we're going to call it a night. Anything else, guys?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.